Hello everyone. In previous video, we spoke about the origination of the credit card. What is the overall framework of the credit card? In this video, I'm going to tell you furthermore right from the point where we left. If you have not seen the previous video, do watch because that is the ultimate video for all the strategy which bank use to make money and you need to learn as a model developer. If you're working in IFRS 9, if you're working in Basel or any other banking operation under credit risk, the previous video is for you and this video is going for you. Okay, so now without wasting any time, let me take you forward and see. So before we go ahead with today's video, I'm going to take a small revision. So we spoke about the overview of the credit card strategy and credit origination. Okay, then we spoke about life cycle. So here I explained to you the credit card strategies, acquisition, behavior and business. Acquisition had cost and benefits. Bank calculate RWA, which is risk weighted assets, and then expense. Then benefits for the bank is obviously interest income and non-interest income. Obviously return on investment is the main key which bank is looking for, which is a combination of all the benefits. Then we spoke about credit card, drawn amount, undrawn amount. The combination of drawn and undrawn amount is known as a risk weighted assets. Also we spoke bit about balance sheet items, non balance sheet item. Then we spoke about the behavior strategy. So this was all about the acquisition. Now we spoke about after that we spoke about the behavior one. So where we spoke about the credit limit increase, credit limit decrease. Then the third strategy was business, where we spoke about cross sell, upscale. So if you want to learn all this, please do watch the previous video right behind this one. Then we spoke about the whole life cycle of credit opportunity analysis, that what type of customer we target, how we get the data. Then we spoke about credit card. This is credit card. Then the criteria. So first one is borrower risk rating and the riskiness of the customer, that we check on the basis of these 3 points, like delinquency, utilization of the credit card by the customer, then the payment behavior of the customer. Then we create behavior scorecards. Behavior scorecard always have an internal scorecard and then external. So the external resource is always the bureau. So if you want to see the bureau video, there is a previous video in the same playlist is all about bureau, Equifax, Experian and TransUnion. I have shown you the real sort of file also. Please do watch that video. Now this is all we spoke about, and then we prepared a kind of a whole strategy to validate all these models. So here it is all. Then I created a kind of a Venn diagram of all this which we spoke. So if you can use this, so that's why I have given a heading that you can take all of this as a screenshot and you can utilize this in your next interview preparation. So this was all about the recap. Now let's start with the totally new thing from today. Okay, which is the subsequent part of this. Now in the last, when we spoke about the credit card segmentations, okay, here you can see this business statistics we use. I spoke about random forest, decision tree and all of that. Now let's pick up from there only. So the first thing was approaches basically which bank use to calculate all these application scorecards. So approach I spoke in previous video, that is a business driven approach or business segmentation. So business do the segmentation of customers. Let's say there are 100 customers. So let's not process all 100 together. Let's process 10 bunch in 10 groups. So 10 by 10, 100. So that's what the business segmentation means. So sometime you understand that what is segmentation, sometime you don't. So you should understand the clear definition of segmentation in this case. Now this segmentation is further divided into two type of scores. One is your behavior score, which is calculated by the bank. So it is internal. Then here comes the second one, which is your bureau score, which is your external. Now you have a transparency view that how you are calculating internally the score of the customer, but obviously you don't know how bureau is calculating the score of the customer, because bureau sells the data to the bank. So we as a bank just calculate on the basis of the columns which are given by the bureau. Bureau directly gives you the score. Now we can simply say this is fully behavior scorecard, which is internal, is fully transparent. But the external is totally non-transparent, because bureau will not share what is their formula with the bank. They will just say that if you want to buy the data, you can select the variable, you can purchase from us. Now in this second case, see, obviously the case number one, which is your behavior scorecard, it is pretty much internal in the bank, so it's straightforward. All the data is available, bank usually do the calculation. But this one is not so much straightforward. Okay, so when you get this data from the bureau, you try to get the data into deciles. You divide the data into deciles. So decile is a kind of a segmentation which I already spoke about here. So you will do the segments. You will divide the segment of the customer. How you do that? So let's say I create 10 bands for different customers. Okay, and I am dividing 10% population into each. So now I have 10 deciles of 10 customer. Now to calculate the performance of these, how they are performing, obviously overall as a customer, like how the customers are performing in each of the segment, how you calculate that? Using the, or checking the average probability of default value. What is the average probability of default for all these customers? That's very important. And then what is a good rate? What is a good rate within your customer? This is also very important metrics. And then you check the average behavior score. Behavior means whether the customer was delinquent or not delinquent, or the customer is a straightforward customer and paying all EMI, everything well in advance. Okay, so we check these three metrics on these deciles. Now I will take an example of decile, so obviously you can understand then when I am saying decile, how actually it looks like. So this was clear. Okay, all clear this concept. Now let's move forward, and I will take directly now example. We'll talk about the example. So let's say there are two data sources. So I have obviously data sources. One is your internal, second is external, which is your bureau. Now in both these cases you have a minimum and maximum score. So I am going to create a table here for minimum and maximum score. So for bureau, let's say the minimum score, let's say in India we talk about CIBIL. So let's say 650 is minimum and maximum score is your 950. Similarly, internally bank have a parameter, let's say from 450 to 750. This can vary as per the bank. So this is your table which you will create once you have all the scores in your hand. Now how you will create the decile? So there is a separate table which you will create. See, all this work is usually done in either SAS, Python. Usually all the programmer calculate that. Okay, so don't get worried that how we are going to calculate all this in Excel or something like that. That is not the challenge. Programming languages are there in all the banks where you're working. Citi, JP Morgan, Wells, everywhere. Okay, now deciles. So deciles will be 10 deciles I spoke about, right? So 10 deciles I'm saying starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are your decile. Now the second variable is bureau score. So here you will get the data from the bureau score. Then you will check the volume, like the number of customer you are dividing. Okay, then you will talk about average behavior score. So average behavior of score of the customer, then you will check the default rate of the customer. So average bureau score, let's say the bureau score is starting from 650, as I mentioned the lowest here, right? So it go to 690, then from 690 it goes to 730, then from let's say 730 it goes to 770. So I am just adding 40. So 40 is let's say the bracket. Then from 770 it will go to 810. From 810 it will go to 850 and so on up to 950. So the bracket can be 40, 30, 20 depending on the company specification. So you got it, right? This is clear. Now every decile I have 100 customer. This 100 customer in this, 100 customer in this, 100 in this, and subsequently here. So it's 1000 customer in all the deciles. Now let's say when you have a formula, so with respect to every score which you are getting from the bureau, you always take the average behavior score of those customer. So the behavior score will be there, let's say, and how you get the bureau score, okay? Obviously, I think you should not get confused, guys. Just look at this table. So maybe let me clarify this one. See, if you see with respect to this score or this score, every person will be having a mapping of this score. So this average behavior score is coming from the internal source, which you will validate against the data from the bureau. But here you are capturing that internal score, not the one which is given by the bureau. That is something I should clarify, number one. Now let's say the score is 475, then you have a score of 499, then you have a score of 512, then you have a score of 600, then you have a score of 620 and so on. So it's increasing, right? Now default rate is, let's say, quite some here, 49%, then you have 39%, then you have 36%, then you have it goes down to let's say 27%, then it goes to 26%, and then keep on going down. Now here you can see one thing, right? The score default rate is going down. As the bureau score is increasing, the default rate is going down. So here if I plot a graph, okay, so when your bureau score, this let's say x-axis is your bureau score, y-axis is your default rate. So the more the score, the default rate is going down, obviously, because the stable the person is, they will not default from the loan. So this is pretty clear. Now bank will have a definition in the model where they will tell you that what is the default rate that should be considered as a opportunity. What does that mean? Like the people who have a default rate of let's say this much or lower than this, they are a good opportunity customer, we should sell more product to them. Now in this case, if you see, so the bank is seeing, let's say, that the people who have a default rate less than or equal to 27%, so all these people will be part of that definition given by the bank. So all these people will be opportunity to sell more product. Why? Because these people are good in overall score and they will not default even if the bank will give them more product. So we were talking about credit card. Bank want to sell them mutual fund. Bank want to sell them FDs. Bank want to sell them more different type of credit card, more products, insurance. So all these things, so they will put a cutoff that 27 is the cutoff. Every person who has a default rate more than 27%, we are not going to give them any opportunity to buy more product. And the people who are having less, they are an opportunity customer for the bank. So that's how this whole cycle works here. Okay. Now, obviously, with respect to these people, there will be a score. This will be the behavior score. So in this case, we will say that 600 is a average good behavior score. That's what the terminology will say. Now we will calculate the mean in the last. So obviously you will have a mean of the average behavior rate, you will have the mean of the default rate, and now this is the tricky part. This mean is ultimately representing all this which we spoke earlier. Mean is representing these deciles which we spoke, like 10% population in each of the band, and then it's talking about the average PD. These people have good PD, the mean value. Okay, so this will give you the clear picture that how the mean is coming. So ultimately we are calculating the mean of good customers and bad customers for the bank. On the basis of that, bank calculate the opportunity, and then they check that these people we should target to sell more product or not. This is pretty much clear. Okay, number one. Now you have the mean. So mean is further divided into two types. One is parametric, then second is non-parametric. So you will do some further test on this. Let's say you will check the ANOVA. So there are two type of ANOVA. One is one way, the second is two way. So you will calculate this. Okay. Then you will calculate the t-test. All these are statistical test which you usually perform. Then in non-parametric you have signed rank, which is very popular. So guys, these are the tests which you will perform after you have a mean. Okay, now you are clear, right? So this was the end of this video. So ultimately we are able to achieve that which business segment we should target, and that's what bank want to see. Okay, now bank has only one dream, which is make profit. How you are helping to make them profit? You told them about these customers who are good. Good means they have good balance, so bank can sell them more product, which will ultimately lead to the profit. That's what the role of a data modeler. Some people call it credit risk modeler, or some in some company it's a terminology different. Okay, so some people call it model developer. So this is all done by the MD team, and obviously the testing team who works doing all these tests, that is known as a model validation team. If you want to learn more about model validation, please do comment. I will guide you more. Already I have videos on my channel, so you just explore the same playlist and you will get the enough content for yourself. Now, if you like this video, if you like my content, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you're sharing this content which I'm preparing with so much preparation, my self experience, with your colleagues, your friends. So that actually really motivates me. Thank you so much. All the best, guys. I'll see you in the next video, and all the link for the previous video you can find in the same video. I'll put it there. Okay. So thank you so much. All the best.